Hello everybody, my name is Sunpo, and today we are watching Gogeta vs Vegito on Death Battle. And this is going to be the very first reaction to Death Battle that I'm going to be doing on the channel. Yesterday, the Death Battle released yesterday by the time of this recording, and I didn't know. I thought it would be next week, but I guess they released it early, because makes sense, because on Sunday it's Christmas. And Jesus Christ, I wasn't really preparing for that, and also I did a poll on what do you guys want me to watch first? Like, you know, season 1 after Vegito vs Gogeta, or season 9 after Gogeta vs Vegito, or just season 9 or season 1 altogether. And I know that poll only lasted for 1 day, but a lot of you guys, well, at least the 9 of you as of now, say that you guys want to watch me react to season 9 after Gogeta vs Vegito. And hey, I'm all here for it. And what else do you think why I'm actually reacting to this first anyway, huh? And but yeah, all that aside, Gogeta vs Vegito, I am a big fan of Dragon Ball. Anything Dragon Ball, basically. And that kind of includes includes Heroes content, which is a whole thing on its own. I don't follow that much. But between these two fusions going at it, this is something that a lot of the Dragon Ball community really wants to see in most versus matches, but of course I don't think any of us were ready for maybe a versus battle between them. I mean, there were a lot of what ifs, and a lot of people have their own sides and been debating for a lot for a long time. Me personally, while I do think that the what-ifs were actually really intriguing, I don't really have a favorite. I like these two fusions equally, honestly. And I do believe that these two are technically the best fusions. At least to me, there is technically already one fusion that I do like already. But I'm gonna be honest, even though I am indifferent of these two and I love them equally, I would have to say Gogeta is my favorite fusion. More times than not, Gogeta has the coolness factor, and I just like Gogeta more than Vegito because of the coolness factor. He has flashy moves, and I mean, come on, he's just so cool. Even in the Dragon Ball Super Broly movie, I know that's kind of, you know, maybe a little unfair for Vegito, but like, come on, that movie's cool. Gogeta is cool in that movie, and that's about it. As of who I think would win in this match, well, let's watch the analysis first, and I'll give you my opinions on it. Hopefully, unlike the other times I did reaction videos, it will never have an ad. I hope there is no ads, but yeah. Okay, gotta adjust it right here, and going to skip a little bit of this. Tiny bits. Right here. Maybe. I don't know. And of course, before I continue on, I do apologize for any background noise because I can't really stop it, because if you guys watched my channel before, you already know who was actually doing most of that, and I can't really stop it because I have no power around here. So yeah. And let's get started in 3, 2, 1, let's go. Okay, where is it? Right here. Let's go.
Last one! Man, these things are so easy to find nowadays.
We're starting with this, huh? Okay.
Now, with this ultimate power, I can finally conquer the world.
Gogeta fight Vegito!
What?
What? Oh, come on! It's the ultimate Dragon Ball question! Which fusion of Goku and Vegeta is stronger? Gogeta, the combo greater than legends, or Vegito, the mix who surpassed gods?
Intriguing. They are in many ways identical, yet still quite different. Though in canon, they only have a collective total of 3 brief appearances. To truly determine who would win, let's examine all of their material.
So that's Z, GT, Super, movies, games, guidebooks, Toei's Twitter, even all the crazy Xenoverse and Hero stuff.
Okay, so a composite of both fighters. Alright then, so there's less nitpicks I can do now. Okay, that's good.
Who would win a death battle?
Alright.
Imagine it's 1995 and you're at a movie theater in Japan. You're there to watch Dragon Ball Z Fusion Reborn, and it's gonna be the most radical movie ever, dude. I mean, yeah, it was a little weird when Adolf showed up.
Okay, that's weird. Yeah, that's weird. I forgot about that.
Goku and Vegeta were pushed to the brink with only one option left. They merged into a single being of amazing power, Gogeta! And that would be the greatest thing 8-year-old you ever saw. Yep, you peaked at 8.
Fun fact, while Vegito had already debuted in the manga 2 months earlier, Gogeta was created first. After all, the movie had been in production throughout the previous year.
Two Saiyans, the proud son of royalty and the lower
class champion, one canon appearance.
Powerhouse? This is the true potential.
Jesus Christ, I'm taller than Gogeta, okay. Jeez.
Hey, that beats the first time we saw Super Saiyan, but I think this comes close.
This method of fusion was taught to Goku by the Metamorans, a mysterious alien people who we never actually see.
But I'd guess they like wearing crop tops with inflatable shoulder pads. Anyway, when Goku taught this fabled technique to Goten and Trunks, it was the most beautiful thing I'd ever seen.
This is the fusion dance. On top of an incredibly precise movement routine, this technique requires both parties to match power levels in order to fuse successfully. A literal personification of the phrase, only as strong as the weakest link.
It's pretty easy to screw up, trust me. But if you nail it, you're the baddest mother effer on the planet.
Though not part of mainline canon, Goku and Vegeta first used this to battle Janemba, a demon basically composed of essence of evil. Probably smells like cats. Gogeta defeated him in less than 2 minutes. 20 years later, Gogeta would become canon to conquer one of the most dangerous entities in the multiverse, Broly.
Obviously, Gogeta's super powerful, but I think his most underappreciated skill is how he comes up with awesome attack names, like the Big Bang Kamehameha, Stardust Fall, Meteor Explosion, and the ultimate villain.
I'll let it slide. I'll let it slide.
Breaker.
A fancy-looking attack that completely obliterates all traces of evil within a target.
That's how it took out Janemba in one shot. The guy was literally made of evil. Or cats.
Weirdly enough, this is similar to Devilman's Devilmight Beam, which causes the evil within a person to explode and—
Oh, you mean Spike? That guy's hilarious. Which
I never thought of that, actually. I never thought of that.
Icarus? Sour Man? General Rildo? Oh man, that guy's just one letter up from General Dill.
Over the years, Gogeta has achieved the empowered forms of Super Saiyan, Super Saiyan Blue, and even Super Saiyan 4 in his battle against Omega Shenron.
Super Saiyan 4 is a totally unique branch of transformation. Instead of using Divine Ki like Super Saiyan God, it taps further into Goku and Vegeta's Saiyan bloodline, giving them fuzzy red fur and teen goth eyeshadow.
Goku has also claimed this form increases a Saiyan's inherent aggression, though you wouldn't know it with Gogeta. He basically becomes Dragon Ball's Bugs Bunny, reveling and messing around with his foe any way he can.
Until the fusion runs out. That's right, the fusion dance has a time limit of 30 minutes. This can be reduced even more if Gogeta uses up a lot of energy. Against Omega Shenron and GT, he split apart after about 10 minutes.
Just more evidence that the amount of power Gogeta possesses is enormous. Even repeatedly striking Broly so hard that the boundaries between dimensions shattered like glass wasn't enough to burn through his time. Hell, he was only in Super Saiyan 1 when he did that. After going blue, Broly didn't stand a chance. Based on earlier in the film, Whis' reaction even implies that Gogeta could possibly take on Beerus.
In Dragon Ball Heroes, Gogeta continues to prove he's one of the multiverse's S-tier fighters. He even defeated the Crimson Masked Super Saiyan Rose Full Power Goku Black and Ultimate God Slayer Hearts the God Hater. You know, those guys.
And 2 Gogetas together could take on Fu.
Just Fu? After all that, he's just called Fu?
Dark King Fu, the artificial bio-android demon mutant. He has Saiyan, Namekian,
Is that really his full name? God damn, okay.
Is this fan fiction?
Yes, it's fan fiction.
Fu could become an entity akin to Zeno, that little blue baby who can erase a multiverse with a thought.
But these Gogetas achieved even stronger forms than before. One was in Super Saiyan Blue Evolved, the boosted form Vegeta achieved during the Tournament of Power. The other was Super Saiyan 4, but not just any Super Saiyan 4. He was Super Full Power Saiyan 4 Limit Breaker. I think my tongue is permanently twisted now.
These 2 forms fighting side by side implies that, at least in this iteration, both are similar if not equal in power.
Gogeta's so cool, and there are tons of people who think he'd win this matchup.
In Weekly Jump issue 28 from 1995, the fusion dance was stated to unify Goku and Vegeta's spirits and draw out their power to the max. As long as a fight with Vegito lasts less than 30 minutes, the magazine says Gogeta should win.
And then in the video game Raging Blast, there's a what-if scenario where Gogeta beats Vegito in a sparring session, but he was about to run out of energy, so maybe it could have gone either way.
Though with his power and skill, it's unlikely any opponent would push Gogeta to his limit. Two of the greatest warriors in history merged together as one. What more could you want as a fan? And what more could you fear as a foe?
Alright, now let's get to...
It's the spring of 1995. A demonic menace has threatened to consume the world in chaos. Goku and Vegeta were pushed to the brink with only one option left: fusion! They used one of their most incredible techniques to become a merged being of unimaginable power. Does this sound familiar?
But there wasn't time to teach Vegeta an awkward dance routine he'd ultimately despise. Instead, they used the Potara.
Only the gods themselves could rock bling like this. That's right, the
This
Potara
cool
earrings
bling.
come from the Kais, the gods that supervise the universes.
By placing one earring on each person's opposite ear, the Potara forcibly fuses the two beings together, no power level matching required. In this case, Goku and Vegeta fuse to become Vegito.
Okay,
Sort of with the
seriously,
same height.
Vegito?
Two canon
Don't they have
appearances,
a
that's
better
correct.
name?
Okay.
Yeah, it's not that bad. And remember, Fusion Reborn started production well before Toriyama penned Vegito's first appearance.
So, Toei called dibs on the better name, huh? But still, shouldn't it be like Vegiko? Not like that's much better either. Why Vegito?
It makes more sense in Japanese. Vegito is formed from the first half of Vegeta and the latter half of Kakaroto.
Yeah.
This is why Viz Media actually translated it to Vegerot.
Oh, that one sucks too. Okay, bored now. Let's talk about how he blows shit up real good.
Vegito has numerous techniques that are entirely his own, many of which are, fittingly, perfect combinations of Goku and Vegeta's signature moves, such as the Final Kamehameha, formed like Vegeta's Final Flash, but fired like Goku's Kamehameha wave. He's got a Spirit Sword, the Saiyan Shield, and the Banshee Blast, which,
So that's
no,
what
it's
it's
not
called,
the Ghost Tech
okay.
you're thinking of.
With Goku and Vegeta's powers combined, Majin Buu was no match. Super Vegito was so freaking
there we go,
powerful
Kyle
that
Ken
even
again.
being turned into
Okay.
candy didn't slow him down. It just made him delicious.
His level of power had transcended to such an impressive degree that he was capable of effectively ignoring having his
Vegeta
matter
combination.
entirely altered and his DNA eradicated. He continued on as the incredible fighting candy.
No mouth, no brains, no organs of any kind, and he still kept slapping around that big pink ass.
Damn.
Phrasing. Presumably, this is similar to how Vegeta overpowered Babidi's mind control, or how Goku broke through Hit's time skip with Kaioken.
Okay.
A greater power level can overrule basically
That actually
anything
kinda
a
makes
weaker
more
one
sense,
does.
kind of.
Though, to be fair, the Super Candy is a pretty extreme example.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
Vegito's a pretty extreme guy, even for the Dragon Ball multiverse. He later got that godly blue hairspray and beat the crap out of
That
Bird
makes sense.
Zamasu,
Can pause it
a
again.
double
Okay.
deity. Like a fusion dick measuring contest, but not at all close.
Though similar to his dancing counterpart, Vegito's time ran out after he overtaxed himself.
Which was kinda weird. Back in the day, they said these Potara fusions were permanent. Turns out it's only permanent for Supreme Kais. Vegito's form can last up to 1 hour before splitting apart, but can be shortened severely if he goes full tilt. In the manga, Vegito formed after Zamasu fused, and split apart when they expected fused Zamasu to have 20 minutes left, meaning he cut his time down to 40 minutes at most, though in the anime it was way less since he tried to quickly overpower Zamasu with a single attack.
The Potara have their own set of rules. Unlike the fusion dance, this form is maintained by the power of the earrings, not the fusers themselves. As such, destroying the earrings ends the fusion.
And if you slap the Potara on while in a Super Saiyan form, you can't power down while fused. So if Goku and Vegeta aren't careful, they can find themselves draining power when they don't need to. But surprise, Vegito's got into his own Super Dragon Ball Hero shenanigans, and he's got the full power Red Fur too. Look, Wiz, I think I'm having Deja vu!
Aside from Fu, he's battled heavy-hitting threats to the multiverse like Cumber and
Choosing to
Megacopper.
Kefla
And just
overpowered.
like
That's
with
not part
Gogeta,
of the...
there's plenty
okay.
of people who think Vegeta would win this fight.
Daisetsu's 4 and 7, basically 2 Dragon Ball encyclopedias, claim that the Potara fusion is superior to the fusion dance.
Old Kai said this too, that the Potara provide a greater effect.
Though they both may be referring to what was believed at the time to be a permanent fusion. Not having to worry about overspending your time limit would certainly be a greater effect if it were true.
But hey, there's nothing that can get in the way of Vegito's awesome power. Gods and demons alike are no match. When there's no one strong enough to save the day, then perhaps 2 will do.
Alright. And...
This show is sponsored by BetterHelp.
I'm going to pause the video here for now. And let's talk about the analysis. For now. Of course, you guys can skip this part if you want to. But I'm going to be talking about my thoughts and opinions on the analysis. So the analysis is actually pretty much correct in most regard. I will let the Kaioken thing slide, as this is a composite version, and I do believe that heroes don't even give a crap about it. But yeah, in all honesty, for me personally, I do believe that the fusion could actually make their own moves, or combine 2 moves that both users do know that are similar enough to actually use. That's kind of why I'm iffy with Kaioken, because Kaioken should not be usable to the fusions, only for the reasons that for Goku and for Gogeta and Vegito's case, Vegeta doesn't know the Kaioken. Unless he does kind of know, which is possible. But unless Vegeta has a similar move or a similar technique, at the very least, I think, yes, Kaioken's a technique. Similar technique that Vegeta has to Goku's Kaioken could be usable. But yeah, but that's an iffy, and to be honest, even with the heroes, that kind of just like, throws that little nitpick out of the window anyway. So I'm okay with that. So, but yeah, Vegito's analysis is very short compared to Gogeta, and I think the only reason why is kind of explanatory, self-explanatory. Gogeta already kind of told most of the background for fusions already, so it makes sense that Vegito doesn't have much left. So, we're almost gonna near about the fights. Now, who do I think is gonna win? I do believe Vegito is going to win. And to be honest, again, I'll say this clear, Gogeta is basically the fusion I prefer between the 2. But if I'm going to say who's going to win, might possibly be Vegito, because for a few factors. 1, the time limit factor. The time limit factor is going to be one of the major things. Vegito, 1 hour, Gogeta, 30 minutes. Anybody can tell about that. But they do have a habit to actually run down diffusion time much more faster, so it could just be negated altogether. Power difference. It's kind of already obvious. Gogeta has 2 people, but those 2 people have to be equal in power. But it seems to me is that even equal in power, both of the users' power will be up to the max once they fused. As for Vegito, they don't need to be equal. They can just fuse, which to be the addition, which is the 2 powers added together. And since because of the Potara, there might be an argument that I know most people would say is that Potara does have a multiplier. Now that is definitely not been supported yet, but if they're going to go for the fact about power difference, starting power, Vegito obviously, but until when they get to higher planes of leveling, I do think they become equal. For the Potara earring is just an iffy, but hey, that's about it. Also, personality. I do believe personality is going to be a major difference in this fight. However, I do get the feeling that they're going to kind of just put that aside for some reason. Because here's the thing. I mean, Gogeta has the moments to be more serious when the times gets tough, but then Vegito has the 2. I do think besides their personality being almost exactly equal, is how they actually handled the fight. Even when the fight is basically serious, Gogeta would actually sometimes play around basically for most cases. Not because he's cocky, but because he wants to have a good time. As for Vegito, sure, he can also be playful, but he's only being playful because he's cocky, and that's about it. And other times, he is basically mostly serious most of the time. So it's basically Gogeta's, for personality's sake, is like Gogeta's playfulness versus Vegito's cockiness, and that's about it. Again, I do think they're gonna slide the personality thing, just cast it aside as a non-factor, which, to be honest, I will be okay with, because that's the hardest thing to actually kind of, you know, talk about in a versus match. But yeah, so I'm betting on Vegito to win because of all the reasons why. Time limit is a possibility. Power is also a possibility. And the personality, if personality is a factor, I'll put it in 2. I do think personality is going to be a thing. Although, because Vegito is cocky, I do believe that he would technically still be much more serious even when cocky, because Gogeta has a habit of being more playful. Considering with Broly. Broly is basically a much more bigger threat than Zamasu in before, in a sense because Goku and Vegeta would already know how much of a threat Broly would be. Because like Vegito versus Zamasu, right? And then there's Goku, and then there's like, yeah, Vegito versus Zamasu, which he gone serious, he just went up to blue instantly. For Gogeta, he doesn't go serious on Broly at first, which is kind of weird, you think, because Broly is a massive threat and maybe a bigger threat than Zamasu from before. But maybe it's just the power level difference. We're gonna set that aside. But yeah, I'm rooting for Gogeta, obviously, because he's my favorite fusion between the two if I'm going to choose. But I do think that Vegito is going to win at the end because of the reasons why I say. But am I right? Well, let's find out. Oh boy. The only thing that I'm hoping for is that when we get to the fight, I'm hoping that we get the Team 4-star cast. Masako as Goku, and I think the name is Lenny. Lenny as Vegeta. Hopefully. I'm hoping we got the actor's name right. The VA name right for the Team 4-star. No. 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 Yes.
Hear my wish, eternal.
All right, the combatants
okay, here we go.
Set. We've run the data through all possibilities.
Let's go.
Hear my wish, eternal dragon. It's time
Nice.
for a death battle.
Okay, that's so cool. Transition to this. Oh god, yeah. Okay, that's what I expected. I was saying it's a joke, but oh god damn.
What is this madness?
Whoa, Vegeta! Am I really that much taller than you?
Stop it, Kakarot!
The Goku does sound a little different. Maybe Moscow has an off day or something. I really don't know who actually was. Okay, this starting's cool actually. That starts cool. I know these are like the typical 3D models that most people use for fan animations, but Jesus Christ, these look very similar to some other models. That's a nice transition, honestly. Ooh. That's a very small beam, honestly. That could have been bigger. And the dragon is still there. I didn't notice. That's smart. Also, the music's actually pretty good too. I like it. Ooh.
Not bad. Want to kick it up a notch? Sure. But how about some variety?
Oh god, the voice mixing is just so cool. 4? Well, 4 and blue are technically equal, I guess. Oh, that's a cool shot. Okay. No beam struggle. Okay. But that's good enough. They're on Snake Way. Somehow. Gotta get rid of the tail somehow. Oh god, that's a cool shot. Okay. Oh, that's a good water effect right there. Oh god.
Gotcha!
Okay, that's good. Oh god. They're so good and flashy, my god. Okay.
Guess it's now or never.
Soul finisher. So, yeah, it's not possible. Come on, Gogeta! Oh, Gogeta! Let's go! Damn. Okay. Still a good shot, not gonna lie. That's still pretty cool. Damn. Okay.
KO! Oh, man, that was epic! Totally worth the wish. Oh, I guess we probably could have solved a lot of world problems with that.
I suppose world domination can wait another year. This fight was incredibly close. Nope, seriously, how could it not be? They're almost exactly the same person.
With a few minor differences here and there, like signature attacks. Neither Vegito nor Gogeta had one single power that provided an absolute edge over the other.
Except perhaps Vegito's longer time limit, though it's not so clear-cut. Both have overtaxed their energy quick enough to end their fusions in less than 10 minutes. Time isn't the only factor, but also whatever is maintaining each fusion. Gogeta's body and Vegito's earrings. It's possible Vegito's power can actually drain the Potara faster than Gogeta's does his own body.
Still, it's twice the time, and that definitely gave Vegito more flexibility and strategy. So more often than not, it's safe to say Gogeta would run out of juice first.
Also, when Vegito or Gogeta defuse from power overuse, it's typically difficult for them to immediately fuse again due to that lack of energy.
But Vegito had another one over Gogeta. No matter what, he'd always have a very slight power advantage. Remember how the fusion dance requires the fusers to match their power levels? Well, the Potara don't need that.
Goku doesn't need to match Vegeta's lower power levels, so there's nothing stopping Vegito from combining the full sum of their parts.
Ah, poor Vegeta. You'll get your day in the sun one day, buddy. Oh, who am I kidding?
This might be what Old Kai was referring to when he said the Potara had a greater effect.
But hey, could Gogeta have destroyed the earrings? Nope! He would have had to be able to overpower Vegito first, like how Goku could only destroy Kefla's earrings after he reached Ultra Instinct.
Remember, when comparing levels of power in Dragon Ball, the greater one can overrule almost anything the weaker one does. The earrings likely tend to be protected by the user's ki aura, similar to their clothing.
The only time we've ever seen Potara damaged or specifically targeted are when the wearer is overwhelmed or in a vulnerable state. If any stray ki blast could destroy them, we'd have a lot more broken earrings by now.
Lastly, there's some debate over their personalities. In their first appearances, Vegito seemed rather cocky and playful against Buu, whereas Gogeta was far more deliberate against Janemba, and thus far more successful. However, these are not core personality traits, and assuming so would be inconsistent with Vegito's serious fight with Zamasu and Gogeta's more brash fights with Broly and Omega Shenron. Context is key. As far as personality and mental ability goes, Gogeta and Vegito are practically identical. In the end, Vegito's higher power level, no matter how slight it was, made a big difference in protecting and maintaining his longer, more flexible time limit.
Gogeta was gonna need meta more than that to beat Vegito. Sorry, Wiz, I know that pun was potarable.
Wait, shut up. Earth's Dragon Balls give 2 wishes, right?
Oh, yeah. Hey, Shenron, I wish for you to fuse me and win.
Okay.
The winner is Vegito.
We'll never see those fusions, but okay.
Thanks for watching, and doubly thanks to our channel members for supporting us this year. Hope you've
next
been
time for
enjoying
season 10. I know this is the season finale.
Works for you. If you aren't a champion, click that join button and give it a shot. Also, season 10 of Death Battle is coming soon, including 2 matchups chosen by our champions. Let's see what you picked.
Yes! Let's go! Oh my. Woo boy! Okay, let's go! Oh god, okay. Those two matches are actually pretty good. Okay, well, it's time to discuss about the fight. Okay, so we're talking about the next time first, because that's the most recent one. I'm a little disappointed. I don't know how. Yeah, I think I know how this is gonna work, but I am a little disappointed that it might still be possible, but I'm a little disappointed that Fall Guys and Among Us did not actually make it. That's just my thing. But okay, yeah. So the next time, Bill Cypher vs Discord. I have been waiting for that match for so long. Hopefully Discord wins. Here's the thing, I'm a big fan of both, and yes, big fan of both, and only for one of them one of those series, you guys would know why, because it's on my channel too. But Gravity Falls, I watched the whole series before. I really like it. It is a bit kind of sloggy for my taste, but to be honest, that's the same thing for MLP. It's kind of a little soggy in some cases, but in all honesty, I really like both series. And Bill Cipher, he's a cool dude. But then again, Discord is maybe the person I would actually like to hang out with, as long as I get on I can get on his good side. I cannot speak. But the second match, I do believe the second match is a fight that a lot of people really wanted to see for the longest time. Unless it's a different fight that I misremembering. But anyway, those two fights, really interesting. And to be honest, the second match that they actually show, I'm actually okay with it. Because even though that might be one of the ones that I actually wish to see, I kind of want to see a kaiju fight again. I really want to see a kaiju fight, which was one of the ones that were voted. But I'm wondering, maybe it's still time. I'm just hoping that maybe, but I don't know. So let's talk about Gogeta vs Vegito, the fight. The voice acting, the animation is just so goddamn good. The only thing I want to know is that, are these the two models that they use? Is this the one similar to something similar to like I don't know. It could be the Tenkaichi models, but like more polished or something. I cannot tell. Also, voice actors, they're both really good. Lanny as Vegeta. It's just wonderful, man. It's just wonderful. I love the Vegeta voice. But for the Goku voice, is that Masako or is that somebody else? Because I can't really tell. It doesn't sound like Masako. But he could just have an off day. I really don't know. Might need to go back and check later. But either way, at least Goku won and lost at the same time. Then Vegeta won and lost. I guess Vegeta is like a 2-on-2 thing now. But yeah, whatever. Either way, I am a little disappointed that I really thought Gogeta would actually win at the end. He seems to be the one that dominating the fight for most of it. But I guess Vegito. Yeah, I'm guessing that Vegito, because of the Kaioken at the end, in terms of the animation, just animation context alone, I guess Kaioken actually was the thing that actually put out on it. But I don't remember, how did Gogeta turn to stone? That's what I want to know. How did he turn to stone? Did he actually exhaust himself so much, or did he got burned as well? I don't know. But that fist bump at the end. Then that fist bump in the end is just okay. That's a cute moment right there. I really like it. Yeah, but I was correct. Vegito won, but I was rooting for Gogeta for the most time. I thought he was gonna win again, but like no, sadly no, it's Vegito. But hey, I was kind of right. I know they talked about the personality thing, and yes, it's true. It's basically true. It's not core personality. I never said it was their main personality, but it's just like, even though there is not enough evidence, I do think the personality is a bit different enough, at least. But yeah, they're mostly just equal. But the explanation with power and time, I can get behind that. But yeah, there's nothing much to talk about this one. I mean, they kind of explained everything in the analysis. I wish Gogeta win. I do think Gogeta would win in some other cases, but Vegito would actually win more than Gogeta, throughout more times than not. And that's what I believe, and that's what I always believed, basically. I like Gogeta more because of the cool factor and his flashy moves, but Vegito would be the stronger contender, basically. Okay, according to the poll from last time, that was 2 days ago when you're watching this, and a day ago when I'm recording this, you guys want me to watch Season 9 after this. And hey, I'm not complaining. Season 9, to be honest, I watched, including this one, Season 9, I watched 90% of the whole season. I think there's only one or two battles that I did not see in this season. Yeah, I think there is 2 that I didn't watch for this season, so I'm looking forward to those, of course, since now I have an excuse to actually watch them now. And with the other videos that I actually did watch before, it's just gonna be a revisit. And hey, those fights are really good. I don't mind at the slightest. But yeah, that's basically it. Other than that, thank you for watching this reaction, and leave a comment down below. Who were you rooting for in this battle? Basically, who were you rooting for? Not gonna say who you think should win, just gonna say who were you rooting for? Were you rooting for Gogeta or Vegito? I said my piece already. I was rooting for Gogeta, but I kind of knew at the end that Vegeta would win. Either way, that's about it for the reaction. I'm Sunpo, and I'll see you in the next time, basically. And that next time might be either a different video, or if you're just gonna be waiting for the next death battle, wait for next week. I might just be only gonna be doing one death battle per week. There might be some cases where I might do 2, or at least maybe if I need to fill up some space for time for videos. But either way, I'll see you guys for death battle next week. But if you watch my other content before, and if you're subscribed to the channel already, I'll see you guys in the next video, possibly. And again, I don't really ask you guys to actually like the video or subscribe. I'm never forcing you to do that. It is your choice, and I'm not forcing you. But until then, catch you later. I wish Gogeta win.